to a very special edition of The Magic Word with me, Magic Mark, alongside Sing is King, it's RJ Singh.
How you doing?
This is a very special LCW episode where it isn't unplanned because we're talking about the Asian community here in Leicester. You are obviously Asian.
I am.
Do you want to tell us about your background?
My background, I'm probably the most multicultural, diverse wrestler I think in the United Kingdom. My grandparents, my great-grandparents I should say, were from India, and they ended up in Trinidad, if you know what I mean.
Right, okay, yes.
Indians who got taken to the Caribbean, shall we say. And my mum grew up in Trinidad as well, and when she was 18 she came over to this country to be a nurse. And she met my dad who's from Norfolk with a Welsh ancestry as well, so, and then they had me, so I'm kind of this mix of like English, Welsh, Indian and Caribbean all in one, so it gives me this lovely brown skin with European features.
You see, my mother did my heritage, my family tree, 4 generations of Wolverhampton. I couldn't be any more boring. And,
amazing.
And that's what I love about Britain, and I love how there are so many different types of people who've met different types of people, and I'm just not that. That isn't me.
That's it.
I'm surprised I don't have a 6th finger.
Oh, Wolverhampton through and through.
Oh, I know.
Nothing wrong with that.
Well, true, but it would be nice to be interesting like you. So this is your debut here in Leicester, and Leicester is very much, it has a very strong Asian community.
Yeah, I mean, I popped down to Sabras Radio earlier this morning to talk about the show. And this is my first time in Leicester, surprisingly though, actually. It's the first time I've actually been to Leicester. In all my years of wrestling, I've never passed through. So I was driving down to Sabras Radio to do an interview with one of their DJs, and like, just driving down the road, heading into the city, like, I just couldn't believe how multicultural it was. Like everywhere, like every other shop was was clothing, like, you know, it said like Indian clothing, Bollywood clothing. So, you know, I nearly pulled over and spent a large amount of money.
Got yourself some
exactly, yeah, exactly. And there was loads of different restaurants, and not just Indian restaurants. I mean, loads of different cultures of restaurants as well. And it was really nice. One of the roads I drove down as well, with the Diwali lights were still up as well. So that's all up and stuff. So it was really, I was so taken back by it, because I live in a very small town called Hertfordshire, very white middle class. It's where I grew up, but and then to come to a place like this where it's so multicultural, it's really, really stunning.
I love places like that. I live in Manchester, and they have the Russia, the curry mile. And I really like curry, so I quite like that.
It works out quite well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But I mean, obviously you've got your heritage and you've got the way that you look. When you were training, did you have the Bollywood dream in your head from the start, or what did you want to play as you were training to be a wrestler?
No, I mean, not at all. I mean, the Bollywood thing it never even occurred to me when I first became a wrestler. I just, I kind of had very, very generic ideas of what I wanted to do as a wrestler. I just wanted to be like a cool guy. That was it. That's kind of all I had in my head. I didn't have any like proper gimmicks, and so I kind of started it, and I did like the little dragon thing for a while. And that was okay for a little bit, and then it evolved a bit. I was doing more heel work, so I became the Gift, and that was great. And then I think around like 2007, I kind of got a little bit bored. Not bored, but a bit stale. I think it was like I kind of felt stale in what I was doing. I wanted something that would shake things up and do something a bit different that no one else was doing at the time. And it's funny because Alex Shane, my guy who trained me, he actually pitched the Bollywood thing to me like within about the first year of me wrestling. He was like, "Oh, I've got this vision for you where you do this big Bollywood entrance." And when he told me that, I was kind of like, "Yeah," like, it didn't really like resonate with me, and I was like, "Yeah." So 2007, I kind of rang him up and I said, I feel like I'm a bit of a rut at the moment. I don't feel like I'm doing anything new, different. I want to kind of evolve who I am, what I'm doing. And he said to me, he goes, "Do you remember about 5 years ago I pitched you this idea of a Bollywood character?" And I was like, "What do you think of that?" And like, I'd just been, me and my wife had just gone for Valentine's Day to see the musical production of Bombay Dreams in London, which had just been running about a year or two at that point. And so in my head straight away, like, I just pictured the logo of like Bombay Dreams, and I was like, the Bombay Dream. I was like, okay. And actually, the first pair of trunks I had made straight after that had like a version of that logo.
Right,
I had
nice.
done as well. I just dropped the S off, made it singular rather than plural. So yeah, I kind of started rolling with it, and I was like, I was the Bombay Dream, Rich Jordan. And then it slowly started to evolve, from that. I think I was in XWA, and Greg Lambert, he suggested, because obviously then at that time Bombay was handed back over to the Indians, so it became Mumbai.
Okay, yeah.
So Bombay was no longer relevant anymore.
Bombay Mix never became Mumbai.
No, it didn't.
Why not?
Why did it not become Mumbai Mix as well? That's a literature as well, isn't it? So, anyway,
sorry.
So he changed. Greg Lambert changed it to the Bollywood Dream instead of the Bombay Dream, and I was like, okay, that makes more sense. And then obviously I updated the name from Ross Jordan to RJ Singh as well, and then that really kind of rounded out the package of the Bollywood Dream RJ Singh. So yeah, that's kind of how it was born.
And do you think that as an Asian performer you had to engage with your Asian heritage, or do you think you could have not?
I don't think I had to, but I think it was a nice avenue to go down because at the time no one was particularly doing Asian gimmicks over here in the UK. There was no one that really played on it in that way, and certainly there was no one doing like a Bollywood type character or anything like that. So what I do believe is you do have to evolve and you do have to look to new things, and you can't really do the same old act over and over and over and over because people get tired of it and you'll get tired of it, which is what happened to me. So I don't necessarily think I had to go down that avenue, but I think it was a nice avenue to go down, which is one that I kind of fully embraced.
So you embraced it and you loved it. What would you advise young Asian lads and lasses that are coming up now, who are in training schools, what would you advise they do as and when they're ready to become a wrestler on an active show?
You have to go with something. Again, like I said, I think the biggest thing is you have to find something that resonates with you, because if you don't believe in it, then there's no point doing it. I mean, if I was any young Asian wrestlers, if you aren't into the whole Bollywood thing, don't go for a character like that. Don't try to do something like that if you've got no interest in doing it and it doesn't really connect with you in any way at all. And that's why, like I said, I'm starting to shift things around a little bit currently at the moment, because obviously I was watching the WCW, I wish WCW was still around. The WWE Cruiserweight Classic, and you had the Bollywood boys, who I've been chatting to on Twitter a lot. We've been back and forth messaging and stuff because they really wanted to come over to the UK. And I don't know if they will now, because maybe I don't know if Bollywood, if WWE have snapped them up, but I know they're taking part in the NXT.
They are in the NXT, Roads, yeah.
So and they're kind of doing the Bollywood thing at the moment. So when I watched that, I was watching the Cruiserweight Classic, and I was like, in a hypothetical situation, if I managed to get to the Cruiserweight Classic, would I represent India? Because that's kind of already been done, and they've done it really, really well, and they're great. I was so then I kind of I switched. I was like, well, actually, I could represent Trinidad and Tobago, playing for Mother's Heritage. I was like, yeah, okay. So tonight LCW I debuted my new trunks, which are a tribute to Trinidad and Tobago, which was kind of a thing. That was for my mum, really. Right. I had my new Trinidad and Tobago trunks, so I think. So my advice is kind of always be looking to do something different that no one else is doing, because like I said, I don't know anyone who's doing anything playing off being from Trinidad and Tobago as well. So just always look for that thing that makes you different.
So we have wrestling said is so much better. We're Asian, I'm gay. We are a strongly knit community at the back, but perhaps some of the fans aren't as forward-thinking as you like. Yeah. Have you ever encountered any racism, any real racism in wrestling?
I think the worst I've ever got is I remember when back in FWA we used to come out and we used to wave the flag around, and someone, I can't remember, someone child burn the flag or something like that, and we were like, what's a bit. That's a bit strong. I was like, we better stop waving the flag thing. Just drop that one. Yeah, I think that's. I've had go back to your own country and stuff like that, and I think that's about the worst I think I've ever had from wrestling and stuff like that. But again, I think it's nice if as a heel you can kind of turn things back on people, and you can make them make it their fault rather than yours. So recently we've been doing a 4FW where I've been working with two guys, Rishi Ghosh and Tiger Ali, and we came out and we get massive boos because we're the heels, but we kind of made it very, very clear it wasn't a colour thing. It was nothing to do with our colour of our skin, and it was like that. It's just about being hated because we're the bad guys rather than it's not because we're brown bad guys. It's just because we're bad guys, and we even we really teased the crowd with stuff like that. And I got on the mic and I was like, we're not the same as you. We're different from you. And I was pointing at my face and I was like, that's because we are brilliant like that. And you could see Dave, the owner of 4FW, was just dying in the corner. He thought it was hilarious, stuff like that. So it's kind of fun to play a little bit with it and and do stuff like that.
But do you feel, as an Asian performer, almost an obligation to be the babyface, to encourage people to embrace your culture and embrace the fact that racism sucks?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think it's like, I think it is really nice to do that, and I love being face, I love coming out and getting the crowd behind me and stuff like that. But I love being a bad guy as well. I like being a heel, and I like winding up the crowd for various things as well. And you know, coming out tonight in Leicester, getting big boo, and again, it's nothing based on race, it's just being an arse, that kind of thing. I think, and I think you just make that clear. There's like the reason you're booing me is because I'm an arse.